female student was murdered, and her body was strangely dumped on the rooftop railing. The police believed that only a person with an intellectual disability could have placed the corpse in such an obvious location. What we are about to recommend to you is the world's most tragically beautiful crime thriller movie. Soon, the police arrived at Jack's home, and Jack, who had an intellectual disability, was arrested. Jack's mother happened to witness this scene and desperately chased after the police car for a long distance before finally watching helplessly as her son was taken away. Jack, with his intellectual disability, was brought to the police station. The police tricked Jack into taking off his pants and biting into an apple, which they then kicked and shattered, threatening Jack to confess to the murder, or else they would beat him like the apple. Jack was so frightened that he stood there, not daring to move. At this moment, 2 more police officers entered, presenting the only piece of evidence in the case, a golf ball with Jack's name on it. Faced with the police's coercion and intimidation, Jack, with his intellectual disability, could not understand anything and was unable to defend himself, feeling only endless fear. Eventually, the police produced a confession statement detailing the crime, and they asked Jack to put his handprint on it. Not long after, Jack finally met his mother, Namay. Namay asked Jack with concern if he was hurt, and then painfully questioned why he had confessed and put his handprint on the statement. Jack thought his mother was scolding him for being stupid and angrily told her that he was not an idiot. Helpless, Namay could only seek help from others to find a way to save Jack. However, the responses she received were all the same. There was nothing that could be done as the evidence was conclusive, and the police had closed the case. Namay's gaze became blank and helpless. The next day, the crime scene was surrounded by people, and the police brought Jack to reenact the crime. Namay also emerged from the crowd. Following the police's instructions, Jack directly smashed the dummy's neck with a stone, and immediately, countless curses were heard from all around. On the rooftop, Jack took off his mask and happily greeted Lucy below. He had finally found someone he wanted to see. As he was about to throw the dummy off the building, a police officer quickly pulled him back and instructed Jack to position the dummy as the female student had been found after her death. Meanwhile, Namay took advantage of the crowd and kept distributing flyers, telling the people around her that Jack had been wrongfully accused. Jack was a person with an intellectual disability, so how could he possibly commit murder? Everything had been coerced by the police into a confession. Namay then went alone to the crematorium, enduring endless curses and anger, declaring to the people that the real murderer was not her son. The grandmother of the deceased, holding a portrait of the victim, heard the commotion and walked out with a bottle in her hand. Namay instantly became the target of the crowd's attacks, but even so, she still continued to proclaim that the real culprit was someone else and that her son was innocent.